internationally, you were a bit silent for a time.
Yeah,
So what's
yeah.
the inspiration behind breaking it now with the endless ions?
I think that's because it's not just a single. It's not just a regular single, but also, first of all, uh, it. I think first of all, it's like a announcement that to let our international fans that we are working on a new album. Although we don't have the schedule yet, but we are working on it. And second of all, I think that it has been a big change since last time that we interact with our international fans, with the international metalheads. That since back then I was still the parliamentarian of Taiwan, but now I retired from it last year, and I think the reason why I make the decision to step down from the seat was all about music. I think I have been experienced so much, and I have discovered so many stories uh, in my family from my grandfather, and I have been doing so much on helping all those people who were victims under authoritarian regimes, and not just as a musician writing songs about them, but also as a politician that pushed for the, a lot of bills to open the governmental archives to give them the truth of their family to relax the victims and their families and to return the justice to the society. That's what I have been doing for maybe my whole life, for almost 30 years. But 2 years ago, I just coincidentally, curiously checked on the archives that are being opened by the government, being asked by me that my grandfather actually was arrested by the government during the authoritarian regime, during the massacre 228. He was the victims, my family, even my mother, my aunts, they were the victims under the authoritarian regimes, but they don't know. They didn't even know because their parents didn't dare to tell them that. They didn't dare to tell them why they've been suffered so tough lives. They have been moved around. They have been monitored by the police, by the militaries. My grandparents didn't dare to tell their children, and so we lived the whole life, didn't know anything about that. But during the 2 years ago, just coincidentally, I found my grandfather's name, and it made me feel like it's about time to write, to make music, and to give the whole universe that I've been created for Chthonic need a proper closure in this step, this phase of time. So I think that's a lot of things to give to the metalheads of the world that we are doing something, and it's not just because we love metal, but it's more about there's a strong force that drives me to step down from the seat and make music now, and to kind of respond to the universe and respond to the history, and to honor my efforts in most of my whole life. I hope it makes sense to you.
Oh yeah, and thank you for giving the background of the personal impact of the whole thing, because maybe the information we had was a bit scarce before, but yeah, that's a very good explanation. So how did this emotional intensity of this, for your family relations shape the writing of Endless Ions?
Yeah, I think the whole family, they didn't really know why write this kind of music. They can't really find the emotions in my music before, you know. They can't even know why there is so strong emotions when we face the authoritarian and when we kind of connect to the people who suffer from the victims. But when they found out that they were the victims, when my aunts, my uncle, they found out that they were the victims, that's why they cannot stay together. They have been sent away to the friends to raise them. They have to switch their schools all the time. They have to escape from something they didn't know. Then they cried. My aunt cried. My uncle cried. I copy all the documents to my elders to let them know that these are the answers of your early lives. And they were touched deeply. And now they understand my music. They know why there's a strong music. And my relatives call me that the endless aliens, they can't understand metal, but they understand the feeling, the emotions. They understand why I said that the fantasy, the story I made up in my music actually connect to the real life. When I told them that before, they can't really see what's going on. But in the song "Endless Aliens," yeah, I think even in Taiwan, that a lot of people, they didn't really understand metal, but they feel the strong emotions because in these couple of years, many other Taiwanese people, they found the stories of their family through the archives too. So I think we all share the same kind of strong emotions that can be expressed by metal.
There's of course the video for the song too. So could you elaborate a bit about the symbolism we see on the video of the reincarnation imagery and so forth?
The several videos in the last decade that talking about one thing, that a soul, a character had been suffer from the same fate again and again, but he has the power to be reincarnate, to reborn, and to try again if he can change the history. So he repeated again and then ended up the same way that been executed by the authoritarian, and but he didn't give up at all. So he just tried again and again. But in the music video of Endless Aliens, answer the question that when should he stop? Should he come? In a couple of years ago, I feel like to make it like relentlessly, to make it repeatedly, and I feel like it's a good way to introduce more stories, because I every time he suffer from the same fate inspired by a victim, so it's a good way to introduce to Taiwanese youngsters. But after I found out from the story from my grandfather, I feel like when the character should stop. I think that's when the character knows that he's just one of millions. He shouldn't try it by himself. He's one of the millions people who try to make the world better. So it's not all his responsibility. So he will stop when he realizes that. So the Endless Aliens music videos talked about that. He suffered again in the first half. And in the second half, somehow he breaks through the portal into the real life of the modern world. And he connects to the songwriters. He is the character created by the songwriter, but he breaks through the portal and met his creator and the real world. And then he just realized that it makes no sense that he repeatedly trying maybe it's about time to stop and let the millions of people's efforts do their job. So that's about it. When we were making this video, people didn't really understand what we are doing. We have the character on the stage of when we headlined Megaport Festival this year. They didn't really know what's going on there, but when the audience, thousands of people watched the video, they touched, they felt like they witnessed the historical moment. So yeah, that's what we want to do.
Absolutely. Is the breaking of karmic cycles a bigger theme on the upcoming album, or what kind of other themes will we find?
In the other themes, I have found out, I don't know if this is the right word, I find out more scary coincidences in the history, between the history and the creative world that been created by me before. So not just the character, not just my grandfather, but there are so many historical truths connected to the fake world that I created before. So I think the character will experience the whole thing. The endless aeons will be the final chapter, but they are a blank right now in the between. So that's the whole album. More scary or goose-bumping stuff will be realized.
Going maybe back to the music, Doris is experimenting with traditional Taiwanese vocals. I think it's called Enka.
Yeah.
So how was this artistic choice made?
Actually, Doris can sing. She just didn't really wanted to sing. She always kind of shy, and because we have been invited so many guest vocals for different albums. So Doris was kind of more want to step out from the singing part, but when Jesse and I were writing a song, we made the decision that we felt like this is a very important song that we really need the band members to express the best there by their own, not just as some guest vocals. So we kind of encourage Doris that, yeah, you have it, no problem at all, because she can sing. She always singing by herself, but she just doesn't really want to record them. And so I just feel like, yeah, it's about, and I think that it turned out very good.
At the beginning, you mentioned that you made the decision to go back to music from politics after years. So was that a difficult decision for you?
Because my constituency, my district is kind of we call difficult district. It's the campaign. I mean, the structure of the district is always been very close. That from the liberal part and the conservative part, that both sides are like 50-50. So it's always been very difficult. And I was the one that won 2 terms. And the previous one, who was more like pro-China one, the previous one, he was there for almost 20 years. So when I decided to step down, people in the beginning feel like, wow, then we are going to return this district back to the pro-China side. We shouldn't do that. Freddy, don't do that. It's so difficult to maintain this for 8 years, and please do something. Please think about it. And there are friends call my band members, because some of them, they might feel like, oh, you are going back to do music. So they started to call my band members that, can you try to convince Freddy that he should run again? So Yeah, so that's what happened in the beginning. But thank God that we have a very talented young politician that she's younger than me. I'm almost 50 now, but in the political field in Taiwan, they consider 40s are still the young people, still the young politicians. So I always try to let them know that no, I'm in the music scene. I'm not young at all. The young people are the 20s. I'm the 40s, 70s to 50s. So you should, if you consider me as a young politician, then there's something wrong between the real world and the political world. So I should just hand this cause to a younger politician. So thank God that we have a very good, talented younger politician who successfully won be my successor. So
Yeah,
good about it. So happy about it.
Political career led to a lot of good things and also positive social changes in Taiwan. You know, you were advocating for marriage equality, indigenous rights. So will all this somehow be seen in the music going forward?
Hopefully, yeah, because although I'm working on the closure of the universe, the current universe, let's say that, but I'm thinking there might be even wider things that I can work on. So yeah, in the same time, I'm also thinking about that.
There's of course a new live recording coming up too. So what makes this recordings particularly special to you?
The live recordings have 5 songs, 2 from the we headlined Megaport last year, and 3 from we headlined Megaport this year. And the main theme of these 2 shows were the same. It's about breaking through the portal to bring the characters and the stories from our music to the stage. So last year we used technology to do that, and this year we have the character, real person, to be on the stage and to work with the music video. So after I found out the story of my grandfather and decided to work on the story of the closure, I produced these 2 shows with the idea that I just shared, that to break through the portal. So we just want to record it. We want to have it to share with people that how the audience have experienced, and also there have been so many different rearrangement in the songs, even from the intro of the show last year, or there are many emotional moments in this year that tens of thousands of people singing together with the song Takao, or the song that the Defenders of Booty Palace. So we all want to put it in to be a part of the closure, like the audience, they are a part of the creation right now.
You mentioned the Megaport events, and also there was the gig in front of Taiwan's presidential palace, 50,000 people. So would be nice to attend one time, but like what kind of events are they? Can you explain from your point of view a bit?
Megaport Festival is the biggest music festival in Taiwan nowadays. It's a 25,000 capacity festival. So 2 days together, it's about 50,000. And mostly the Megaport have the international acts from Asia, from Japan, and not just Taiwan, but also from Japan, Hong Kong, and different parts of Asian countries. But sometimes they will have the international from the West part of the world. Like this year, they have the Flaming Lips. So it's not just about metal or loud music. They have different kinds of rock genres. So they have all different artists from the world made it in the biggest music festival in Taiwan, and it's in the harbor. It's right by the harbor, so it's in a very beautiful site. That's if the Finnish metalheads want to visit Taiwan, should definitely come. That's every year is in the end of March. So yeah, come to Taiwan and enjoy the festival. And the second, and about the show in front of the President Hall is called Taiwan Victory. That's I think back when I was the parliamentarian, I always ran my campaign together with a band, because the fans feel like they lost Freddy from his doing his political work. So I always want to try to put some efforts on making some big concerts that they can never imagine, like a metal concert in front of President Hall. That's normally it's not a concert venue at all. So but as a politician that running for re-elected, I borrowed that venue as a campaign venue. That's a campaign site always, that people have that rent. People borrow that place for different kind of rallies. So I went through the same process to have that venue, but organize it as a phonic huge concert. So I think it's just it's in one hand I can calm my fans down in Taiwan, that it's not all about bad things, right? When I'm doing politics, I can come up with something huge that other parts of the world's metal heads they can never experience, because it's not that easy to have metal shows in front of no matter it's President Hall or prime ministers or the government's square. It's not that easy to have that. And we made it in Taiwan. So it's in one hand I can calm my fans down, but in the other hand, it can fire up the campaign too. So make my campaign seems much cooler. Make all those people who don't understand metal at all, but they all want to join this kind of cool event together. So in one hand, I'm kind of introduce metal to the ordinary Taiwanese people to make them be a part of the force of metal, but also be a part of Freddy's campaign. I think that's that's a lot of fun. Sharing this with you made me feel like I'm a politician again. feel the power, feel the energy.
So with the new album coming out, is there also an international tour in the plans?
Not really. We are discussing, but every time we got some offers from different countries, different continents, but the members were like, should we focus on the new album first, or should we play some gigs? So we are like debating with ourselves. So don't know yet, but I'm sure that we are working on new materials nowadays.
Working on new music and, after the shift. So has there been any surprises for you from shifting from politics to music?
I don't know why because we don't, in the recent years, we have not released too much new stuff. And I can still see the new fans, younger fans started to follow us in recent years. That surprised me. Like when the Megaport Festival talked to us about have us headline this year, I was kind of not sure about it because we had huge concert a few years ago, and last year we played Megaport in a smaller venue that we asked for it because we need the technology things in very details. So we asked them that just let us play in an indoor venue, and it was packed. People lined up outside, want to get in. I didn't even know why, because we don't have any new stuff. Where did you come from? You are so young. You can be my children. You can be my kids. Where did you learn about our music? So yeah, that surprised me that when they asked me, because I was like, yeah, we can still play in the third stage, in an indoor stage, that would be fine for us. But they asked us, no, this year you step down from the politics. You have to play the big stage and headline the festival. I was kind of not sure about it, but yeah, but it surprised me that people were there, and it packed with about 20,000 people, and they sang along with us the songs that, like Takao, it was 14 years ago, but the younger people, they sang along with us. That was touching.
Talking about the younger generation, as a pioneer of Taiwanese metal, what kind of changes do you see in the local metal scene since you started?
A lot of things has changed. In the old days, even in my old days, that we learn music and we want to cover music, or we created some songs that really similar to the bands that we inspired by in our early days, and we didn't really have confidence on doing our own stuffs. And I think Chthonic, since early years, and no, I should say in the early years, that we have used some our own stuffs, on Taiwanese kind of melodies in our music, but we started to use them a lot confidently since the album Mirror of Retribution or Takasago Army. Those were when I felt the strong confidence that I should use our local elements to write our own music. And I can't really explain to the younger bands back then. That was 2010. But now I have learned, I got a lot of demos or songs or contacts that the younger bands ask me to listen up to their music, that they create something connect to Taiwan naturally. Not just like, of course, they will always say that they're inspired by Chthonic, but I think they found their connections and confidence by themselves. So I think that's the biggest thing, that it's much easier to find find a metal bands from Taiwan that really have connections, no matter it's lyrically or musically or instrumentally, that connect to Taiwan. I think that's something. Although the whole metal scene is kind of shrinking, I think not just in Taiwan but everywhere in the world. That it's not like 20 years ago that it used to be much bigger. But in Taiwan, it's in a way it's shrinking. But in other hand, that you can find more confident, talented metal artists, and that's something that I've been so glad to witness.
Yeah, has the role of metal music changed in the Taiwanese society somehow?
I think so. Yeah, because metal has strong message and strong emotion. So a lot of people, they listen via metal and find their own strong emotion, and not just want to express the emotion, but want to transform them into action. And that's something very good. That's something very cool. That if we are saying that music can change the world. Music can change the society. I think it happened in Taiwan. Not just metal, but there have been so many different kinds of rock bands, been a strong force to drive Taiwanese young people to participate the change of the country.
We've been talking of your transition from politics to music. So now, as a musician, do you still feel like you're a political activist?
I feel like that. So I changed my rhythm, my grooves of my life. So I didn't really want to follow the daily news too much. I participated many human rights activities. I avoid to answer the instant news like the old days when I was in the parliament. That's my job. I have to respond to all the instant news and instant events. But now I don't answer all the phone calls from the journalists or the reporters anymore, but I accept all the invitations to participate those human rights activities and to share with students in the high school about what I'm doing, why it is so important. So yeah, definitely, I'm still an activist, but not like the old days that I've been doing so actively. I find a better balance.
Going back to the music, is there something, of course, we don't want to ruin or spoil anything, but what can you tell me about the upcoming album and its music?
I think people can find that there's the last two singles that we released. This one, Endless Aliens, and 2 years ago there was Patong Khan. These two singles, in one hand you can see the image of Chthonic, but also there's some differences. So I think that's something that happened in Jesse and I, that we want to put more not just ideas, but put more different kind of feelings in the music. Not just be strong like metal, not just be beauty, not just to share the beauty of Taiwanese kind of melody and culture, but we want to make some music that can kind of channel all our emotions out. Not just anger, not just sadness, but frustration, but the struggling, not just to express the story of somebody else, but ourselves. So it's been more complicated when we're talking about ourselves. It's more complicated than talking about the stories of somebody else. So I think the last two singles, they are shorter. They are not long. But when you listen to Endless Aliens, it's less than 5 minutes, but there are so many things going on in the song, and it's still not, but it's not that complicated. In a way, it's complicated, but it's not the complicated. It's not like an 8-minute song. It's a shorter song, but with a huge emotion and complicated things going on in there. I think that's what in other songs of the album too.
Now that you are concentrating on music, how do you see the future of the band?
We will take it a bit slow, not like the old days that we were forcing ourselves to write songs. But now, like Patong Khan and Endless Aliens, we know that time provide better balance for not just our lives but our music too. So we like that kind of balance, and we like what's come out. So yeah, we will stay that. That's why, yeah, Yeah, people are asking us when the new album will be out, but we don't know. But we will. We know the direction, but don't know when. We don't have the schedule yet.